Hey guys, I know baking and cooking and being in a kitchen isn't for everyone. A lot of times people don't know what to cook, they run out of ideas, they don't enjoy it, things don't turn out, and you know what? It's okay. It's all just a bunch of experiments. Hopefully it tastes good. You don't need to tell your people that, maybe you messed up and you put a little bit too much this in or too much that in. If it tastes good, don't tell anything. Keep your secrets to yourself. Today I'm going to show you a recipe, and this is called 5-minute artisan bread. And I will tell you that bread is not my forte. I try to make the bread, I do the best that I can, but if you ask my children, they will tell you that it's not as good as grandma's. And when my father was alive, he baked bread all the time. Even in the bread machine, it would always turn out fantastic. Matter of fact, I gave him my bread machine and said, here, I think it's broken, you try it. He made a loaf of bread and it was beautiful. So definitely is my family's forte. They've been baking bread, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. And again, it's not going to be as good as my mom, but that's okay. It's still going to be an easy, real quick loaf of bread. Here's how it goes. So we're going to start out with flour, and honestly it's all done in one bowl. So I have whole wheat flour here, and this is going to be 2 cups of whole wheat flour, and I have another cup of stone ground flour, and this was actually, I purchased that. If anybody saw my vacation videos, we went on a hike in Ohio. I purchased some real stone ground whole wheat flour. So I'm going to add this to it. I'm not going to do all of it in this recipe because making bread is a challenge anyway. To get it to rise, to make it fluffy, to make it look good, to make it like your mom's. So I'm going to use 1 cup of that, and then the other 2 cups of regular whole wheat flour. What we're going to do, so that was 2 cups of the whole wheat flour, a cup of the stone ground flour, and I need 2/3 cup of flour as well. So let me find my 3rd cup. So I'm going to do another 1/3 of a cup of the flour. To that, I have 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, and I use active dry yeast. So I'm going to throw that in there. I'm not exact on measurements, but that's okay. We have 1 1/2 teaspoons. I have a coarse salt. That's 1 1/2. A tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to add that. And then at this point you can add some freshly chopped herbs. If I was upstairs, I would definitely go out and grab some, but I'm not, so I'm just going to make it without. Now I'm going to start adding the water. Guys, this is how easy it is. It is, let's see, 1 1/3 cup of water. So we're going to add this in all together and let it sit and rise. So just mixing it together. And actually, when they describe it, it's just enough for everything to come together, be slightly moist, and it's almost going to look stringy. A little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more water. The whole wheat really absorbs the water much more so than the white flour. So I'm going to add a little bit more. That's it. So I'm going to turn off the camera. We're going to let it sit for about 45 minutes in a draft-free place and let the yeast start working, doing its thing. It will rise, it will double up, and then you'll see what I do next. So, don't know how much you can see, but it's kind of mixed in, looks like a blob, and that is it. So I have a cloth. Try to do this with one hand, maybe this will show. I have a cloth, I put it over the top. I'm going to put this in a draft-free place, and again, just let it sit for 45 minutes. How simple was that? Guys, yes, this was in my oven, but this is a draft-free place, so the oven is not on, and that is my bread dough. So it's been actually over 45 minutes. Really, you only need 45 minutes in a draft-free place, and it will double in size. I've done errands, I've run around, got dinner ready, so it's been more than 45 minutes, but I'm going to show you what we do next. Right now I have a dish with a lid on it. It's empty right now. I'm going to put it in the oven and set the oven temperature to 45, and while it is preheating, this is going to heat up. It says just to take it out from the bowl. So that's what I'm doing. This is the bread, kind of, I don't know, looks like a sponge. So you don't really need it too much, but you fold it in half. Then it says to fold it in half again on top of one another. I have it covered in a little bit of flour. And that's what it looks like. Shape it into a ball, and that is it. So now this cloth that I had, that I covered the dough with originally, I'm just gonna do like this and cover it up. And again, I'm gonna let it set in a draft-free place, and it will hopefully raise and double a little bit more while the oven is preheating. And that is it. Okay, so I have the hot pan. This is the bread coming out of the oven. Yes, I moved to a different kitchen, but that's okay. I was making dinner up here. So that's the bread. I'm going to take it out, put it on a rack, and there you have it. So that is whole wheat bread. It's made with 100% whole wheat. We used whole wheat flour and then ground stone whole wheat flour, and water, salt, yeast, a little bit of sugar. You saw the whole thing go in. We mixed it up. The more you let it rise and sit overnight, the bigger the loaf might get. But again, with whole wheat, it's a little tricky. But there you have it, guys. Not so bad.